It's 4 in the morning and I can't sleep, so we're making bagels today. Now, every cooking show that I've ever seen, they put the little ingredients in these little tiny bowls, and I happen to have a whole bunch of them, so let's put them to good use. I'm going to take this opportunity to refill your sugar container because you are entirely unprepared for this. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to activate your yeast. A tablespoon and a half of yeast, 3 tablespoons of sugar, and 1.5 cups of water. This is just regular hot water out of the tap. I've never met hot water that comes out of the tap that's hot enough to kill yeast, so just go ahead and use that. 1.5 cups of water. Go ahead and stir that up with your whisk. And then we're going to let that sit for about 10 minutes. This is also a really good way to make sure that your yeast is still alive in case you've had it in the fridge for a long time and you can't remember when you bought it. Now while that's proofing, you're going to get about 3.5 cups of flour. You're going to take 2 tablespoons of kosher salt. Now salt will kill yeast, so just be real careful that you mix it all in there so that it's nice and homogeneous. Look at how foamy it's getting. That's what you're looking for. So we're going to let that sit for a second. Look at that. Look at all that yeast. Look at it working. It is alive. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your yeast and you're going to just pour it right into your flour mixture here. Now I've got this cool little thing. This is called a Dutch dough whisk. If you don't have one of these and you make a lot of biscuits or breads or anything like that, you want to get one of these because it helps you incorporate your liquids into your flour a little bit easier. So you're going to go ahead and get it started. See? Just going to get it started. Once it starts to get a little shaggy, here, let me show you. See? Once it starts to get a little bit shaggy, it's a little shaggy now. We're going to mix it a little bit more. Then you can start working on it with your hands. We're going to do like this. Can y'all see? That's really close. I have no other way to do this. And then we're going to start working it in with our hands. Just like this. So we get all the flour off the bottom of the bowl. You don't even have to turn it out onto a surface if you don't want to. Just do it right here in the bowl. It's totally fine. Just keep folding it over on itself. And then once you got everything all nice and folded over, just flip it upside down and cover it with a warm towel. Now we're going to let that proof for about an hour. I'll be right back. It's been an hour. Let's see what she looks like. Look at how pretty. So now what you're going to do is you're going to get a big old pot full of water and put about 2 tablespoons of molasses in it. Now I've got this stuff, blackstrap molasses. This is really strong stuff, but it's good. If you can get some, get you a hold of some of this. So while you're waiting for your water to boil, we're going to go ahead and start forming our bagels. Check this out. I found this thing on Amazon. It's supposed to be for making donuts and stuff, but I use it for bagels instead. So what you're going to do is you're going to take you a little piece, about like that. I don't know, what is that? Half a cup of dough? Something like that. And then we're going to roll it on the counter. So what you're doing, you can see here, you're going to pull it under here with your thumb and push it under with your pinky finger as you go around in the other direction. So you're going around like this, right? So you're going to move it with your hand and just be tucking them edges under as you go until you end up with a little ball of dough that's flat on the top, but you can see the little dimple there on the bottom. Put you a hole in it like this, and you're going to stretch it out and just put it right here in your little donut mold and let it sit for a second. And we're going to let that proof for about 5 or 10 more minutes before we boil them. Alright, so now we're just going to do that 5 more times. We're going to preheat our oven to 375 degrees. We've got our water boiling now, and we're going to let them boil for about a minute on each side. While you're doing that, go ahead and line a couple of baking pans with some parchment paper. All right, now we're going to go ahead and take and flip them. Take your everything bagel seasoning. All right, now we're going to go ahead and scoop them out. And while they're still wet, go ahead and sprinkle on your everything bagel seasoning. And then we just do that for the rest of them. All right, now once you got your full pan of bagels, go ahead and throw them in the oven for about 20 to 30 minutes. And that is how you make bagels. Now, if I can make a suggestion real quick, my favorite way to eat these things is with this stuff that I found at the Bougie Kroger. Now, don't even act like y'all don't know where the Bougie Kroger is. Now, there's the in-town Kroger, and then there's the Bougie Kroger that's over there where the rich people live at. You know where it is. Go to the Bougie Kroger and find you some of this stuff. Roasted garlic and onion jam. This is so good on these bagels. I'm telling you right now, go get you some. All right now, enjoy.